flies. Seasons season us to become of greater values to ourselves, our family, our community, and the entire world. Fountain of Peace Baptist Church has not only come of age, but has been a church of positive impact and spiritual influence around the community. Church growth doesn't happen by accident. It takes hard work, prayer, and commitment. It also takes the blessings of the Lord. That's exactly why we are here this day, to acknowledge that He has richly blessed us over the past year. Join us as we voyage through the time into the 2 decades existence of this church. John Stott, in his book entitled The Cross of Christ, said, "The Christian community is a community of the cross, for it has been brought into being by the cross, and the focus of its worship is the Lamb once slain, now glorified." Fountain of Peace Baptist Church was brought together by divine alteration, and today it is evident to all that it is meant to be, and it has come to stay. Fountain of Peace Baptist Church did not just come about by accident or chance. It is a product of a long-time prophecy, and it is built by the call and grace of God.
Orúkọ mi ni Àjàní Ọlájí Moses. Nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjọ Fountain, ilé bàbá Ọlábísí Dọ́là, ilé wọn kọ́ ilé adìẹ sí. Nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjọ yẹn, jẹ́ pé àtàwọn adìẹ la jọ ń jọ́sìn. Kọ́dọ̀ tó ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yẹn tó fi ń fi access ní ṣàwàdà nínú ìjọ mi pé ìjọ ilé adìẹ wọn náà ń lọ. Wọ́n darapọ̀ mọ́ ìjọ ilé adìẹ sí nǹkan kan. Ṣùgbọ́n lónìí, a rí ìdàgbàsókè.
Mo lè rántí ní nǹkan bíi bóyá 1996 or 95. Nígbà yẹn, nínú ìjọ tí a wà tẹ́lẹ̀, First Baptist Church Ìṣòkò, a dá ìjọ ti Lákolú sílẹ̀. Ìgbà yẹn náà Victory Baptist Church a dá sílẹ̀. Then ìjọ Grace Baptist Church tó wà ní Alliance. So but Deacon kan wá wà nínú ìjọ nígbà yẹn, Deacon Ọládèjì. Wọ́n sọ pé ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run fi hàn àwọn wípé ìjọ kan sì máa wà ní Sẹ̀lẹ̀. Èyí níbi tí a wà ní ìsìn tó ń jẹ́ Fountain of Peace Baptist Church. But wọ́n kàn wí àwọn èèyàn ò gbàgbọ́. But bí ó ṣe wá o, bí ìjọ yẹn ó ṣe di dídá sílẹ̀, kò sẹ́ni kankan tó mọ̀.
I'm Pastor Adebisi Adekunle. I'm the first church leader of Fountain of Peace Baptist Church when the Fountain of Peace started in 2004. Well, I can say that the Fountain of Peace Baptist Church was established to satisfy the tasks of members, especially the founding members. And by the time the church started, we discovered that most of the prominent members were members of a Baptist church, but they were not satisfied with their spiritual state. And it was like a call of Abraham, or the call of the father of Abraham from Ur to Canaan. The Lord called us to come and satisfy the spiritual tasks of the founding members.
I'm Reverend David Michael Bamidele. I remember that we first gathered at Baba Olabisi's house, and people are trooping in, not by power, not by might, but by the Spirit of the Lord.
After what seems like a little wrangle, it became pertinent to start a fellowship. The fellowship commenced at the residence of Pa and Mama D.O. Olabisi on Monday, the 25th of October. They consistently met every Mondays and Wednesdays for Bible study and miracle service hour, respectively. The attendance at each of these meetings rose progressively, and this led a selected few to embark on a retreat to seek the face of the Lord. At this retreat, they received the leading and approval from God for the commencement of the proposed church. Hence, Fountain of Peace Baptist Church was founded on Sunday, 5th of December 2004, with the general Sunday school being led by Miss now Deaconess E.I. Adekunle, and the only sermon of the day led by Mr. now Deacon Thomas Taiwo. This service had a record of 108 worshippers in attendance.
Ìsìn àkọ́kọ́ ó dùn àti rí pé gbogbo àwọn tó ń wá ń gbà yẹn tọkàntọkàn ni wọ́n fi ara jì pé ìjọ yìí yóò dúró, a sì dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run lónìí pé ìjọ yẹn ó dúró títí lónìí.
That very time, we worship under open heaven. No canopy, no tent, nothing whatsoever. We were very happy with the situation. Ohun Sátánì bíi kí àwọn èèyàn máa sọ̀rọ̀ òdì, káyé máa sọ̀rọ̀ òdì pé kọ̀tán di wọn, sáwọn nìkan ni aláṣejù ni wọn, Ọlọ́run fi títóbi rẹ̀ tó bá ṣe èèyàn ni kí ó bá ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn Ọlọ́run.
Of a truth, the quality of a community reflects the quality of its leaders. God has blessed this church with great leaders from inception. The church leadership commenced with Fpbco Adekunle, who led the church between January and May 2005, after which Pastor Mike David, a student pastor of Baptist College of Theology at that time, took over the leadership of the church between 1st of June 2005 and September 2006. After his exit, Fpbco Adekunle again led the church until the resumption of our pastor, Reverend Dr. John Akin Oyelade, the pioneer full-time under shepherd of the church from 1st of July 2007 and was subsequently inducted on the 8th of July. He is still the church pastor till date.
That day, when he told me, I was so scared. I was afraid. Because I've heard and read a lot about Oyo, that there are many witches, many wizards, So when Daddy told me that I would be going to Oyo, I said, God, well, I don't have option than to follow my husband, and because of the ministry. Even some people in our church, they came to me begging me that I should tell my husband that we should not come to Oyo. But we have to obey the leading of the Lord. Our first meeting. So when we got there, we saw many Okadas. I don't know when I voiced that. Church Olokada láti Mbo ní Ọ̀yọ́ mi báyìí. Because where we were coming from, Sundays like this, it would be like if they are selling motors, they are selling vehicles there.
My immediate reaction was to say no, because before that time there are a number of churches that had come and that we were praying over, one from Lagos, one from Ibadan, and some other bigger cities and towns. So when brethren from Fountain of Peace Baptist Church came, I felt that church was just starting, and the kind of background that the church had then, and the church also was a preaching station to my mind that time. So if you compare the state of the church that time and the church where I was, certainly a normal and natural human being will say no. So my immediate reaction was not to even want to pray about it. But I thank God for my wife who said we should pray about it. And we prayed. When God finally spoke that He has an assignment for us in Oyo, one thing with me is that once I'm sure it is God's leading, even if I'm not pleased with what I think God is saying, I will still go ahead.
Reverend Dr. John Akinwumi Akanwo Ileladewa Oyelade is a man of God. Yeah, he's a man of God. John Oyelade will tell you blunt whatsoever, and we don't mind who's us in God when it comes to saying the truth. And he's a man of God that ready to support good things in your life. He's a man of God that if any situation happens, in fact, he will take it upon himself. He's a good shepherd that you can have around.
Olùṣọ́ àgùntàn tí ó ń mójútó àwọn àgùntàn abẹ́ rẹ̀ nípa tẹ̀mí àti tara ni olùṣọ́ àgùntàn wa. Ìtẹ̀síwájú ọmọ àjọ ó jẹ wọ́n lógún, ìtẹ̀síwájú ìjọ náà ó jẹ wọ́n lógún.
In Matthew 16:18, Jesus said, I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. God has helped the church to grow tremendously and has become a model Baptist church in our local area, conference, and at the Nigeria Baptist Convention. As often said by one of our fathers and leader in the convention, Reverend Professor Simon A. Kolawole, Fountain of Peace Baptist Church is unarguably one of the fastest growing Baptist local church in our convention, and we are proud of you. Indeed, God has greatly helped His church.
Years back, I described the church as one of the fastest growing churches in the convention. Fountain of Peace Baptist Church Oyo is one of the fastest growing churches in the convention. I think subsequent events, since after I described the church the way I described, subsequent events have justified that description of the church.
Yes, I'm Reverend Dr. Victor Owolabi, the former pastor of Olivet Baptist Church. According to what I usually discuss with Reverend Dr. Oyelade, Fountain of Peace Baptist Church is one of the fastest growing church in Oyo town.
As you can see, even now in Oyo and its environment, you can see that our church is a unique church. Youth are given opportunity to operate, and even the adults, nobody can regret of coming to our church.
Adoption, they say, is complicated, but it is also rich with narratives of strength. In February 2007, in a display of real strength, not minding the mildly complicated history, Olivet Baptist Church accepted Fountain of Peace Baptist Church to be our daughter church, serving as a foster mother church to her.
The process of our mothering the church started before I came on board at Olivet. And I can describe Fountain of Peace Baptist Church as a church that has become mature right from the womb. Because no sooner than the church started, very many things that you will expect the mother church to be doing in order to get the church on its right footing, they have gone ahead of even the mother church to do most of these things. So it was a very easy relationship, our coming to mother the Fountain of Peace Baptist Church.
And consequently, on the 6th of July 2007, during our third quarter associational meeting, the former Oyo South Baptist Association admitted the church into the association as an observer and finally gave approval for the organization of the church to become a full-fledged Baptist church on the 3rd day of October 2009, with the organization service holding on the 20th December 2009. Interestingly, later in the same year, Fountain of Peace Baptist Church, in a similar gesture, went on to replicate that adoption to latter Glory Baptist Church, now Fountain of Glory Baptist Church. Brick by brick, stone by stone, every great thing was built by those who believed they could. Rome, they say, was not built in a day, but it was surely built daily. In a rare and unparalleled display of faith, the church pastor made a call to move a tent to the permanent site of the church here at plot 120 Obananko Road on the 27th of June 2007. Prior to this day, the foundation of the church was laid on Saturday, 17th of March, 2007. The foundation stones were laid by the following persons: Reverend M.A. Adegbola, Reverend Obaloluwa Osholale, Reverend Dr. John Akin Oyelade, Deacon Diakola Abiola, the church leader Olivet Baptist Church, late Pa Adebayo Oyedemi, Mama Titi JJ, Reverend S.O. Adetunji, and Reverend G.A. Bamikole. Ever since the foundation was laid and the church moved to the permanent site, the work of this building has been progressive with the grace of God and the visionary leadership of the church pastor, Reverend Dr. John Akin Oyelade.
Initially, when we started, we were faced with that challenge that where are we going to be worshiping? And it was about dollar. What's the name? I can't remember. Our Labisi, who offered to help, we use their compound to worship, and then we purchased a land at Obanonko Road there, where we are now, but we built a shed that time. Built a shed, and we are worshiping under that shed.
By the time we joined the church, the wall of the church was a corrugated shape. That was up till around 2016, and then gradually the blocks came in to replace the corrugated sheet, the ceiling, and other things, and it's gradually becoming like a Solomon's church in Jerusalem.
Not leaving out this attraction of sponsors from far and wide to join hands and support the great sacrifice, commitment, and devotion of the members. Of course, it sure came with certain discomfort, but like the church pastor would always say during those times, that they were all challenges of growth, as the growth had now become evident today. Indeed, God gave us a pastor after his own heart.
The church pastor is very, very up and doing. I can say he's a charger. He charges us. And we begin to put in all our efforts so that we build a befitting church.
Just as the name of the church implies, Fountain of Peace Baptist Church and First Baptist Church Oyo both took a new slate and rewrote history on Wednesday, 5th of September 2018 by coming together to put the past behind and making a decision to give peace a chance. Both churches, under the leadership of Reverend Dr. G.O. Kende and Reverend Dr. John Akin Oyelade, realized that we cannot afford to put unfettered energy, unwavering loyalty to Christ, and the ever-present zeal of the members to naught. If we must deliver the salvation mandate of Christ that we preach, then we must be ready to shun every act of hostility. We therefore took a decision to show peace and love to one another forthwith. We decided to say no to 8 for 8, for if an eye were for an eye, the whole world would be blind. We said yes to love for love, and yes again to love for even hate. This is our pathway to peace. The immediate past president of the Christian Association of Nigeria and the Nigeria Baptist Convention, His Eminence, Reverend Dr. Shupo Ayokunle, preached at the event while there was an exchange of reunion Bibles between the two churches, which reflects a symbol of unity and peace. To the glory of God, today the two churches are doing great by the grace of God, and our members relate normally in love to the glory of God.
Yeah, my name is Gabriel Kende. I'm the pastor of First Baptist Church, Oyo. When I came to Oyo, I heard the story of how Fountain of Peace Baptist Church came into being. And when I heard the story, as a pastor and as a child of God, I believe that both the First Baptist Church Oyo and Fountain of Peace Baptist Church, the church belongs to Christ. Sometimes, as human beings, we behave as if we own the church. But I always believe that Jesus Christ died for the church. He owns the church. None of us died for the church. Ultimately, the church does not belong to us. It belongs to Christ. And as a man of peace, I spoke with my brother, Dr. John Oyelade, that you know what is going on. We have families here. We have families at the Fountain of Peace Baptist Church. They are from the same family. They are friends. They are relatives. We must not continue to look at this division. There's need for us to come together and forget the past.
When I came, even before I came, I told the brethren that, well, I'm not going to pastor a divided church. And whatever I can do to reunite Fountain of Peace Baptist Church with the First Baptist Church, I would try. Yeah, there were a lot of opposition to that idea. Some of our brethren felt that, the authors, they did this. And I started preaching, teaching, discipling. But when Dr. Kehinde came, the very first time I met him, I went to greet him in his pastorium to welcome him. I was here before him. I think I was here about 3-4 years before he came. So when he came and I met him, I was seeing him for the first time. I have never met him in ministry. And we were talking. So the idea of what are we going to do, he had also had a lot about the issues that led to the establishment of a Fountain of Peace. So we discussed that our very first meeting. And I told him, I said, my brother, you are a child of God. I'm a child of God. We should lead the two churches in the way that ultimately there will be cooperation. That is going to be difficult, it's going to be tough. Let us pray and trust that. And from that day on, we started working gradually. He was handling his people there. Gradually, I was handling my people here. I think after about 5-6 years, God finally allowed that reunion service to hold.
It is noteworthy to add that despite the capital-intensive nature of this building project, again, through the visionary and prospective leadership of the church pastor, God helped us to acquire several landed properties and completed many other projects in and around this locality, some of which include, but not limited to, purchase of a 14 plot of land that is directly opposite the permanent site of the church on 1st of March 2021, procurement of 2 plots of land for Fountain of Grace Baptist Church, and the construction of a temporary building for the church. The modern pastoral building was commenced, completed, and dedicated on a 2 plots of land. Procurement of landed properties with 2 twin flats and 2-story buildings for the church investment. Construction of worship centers for and the organization of Fountain of Glory Baptist Church, Onireke, Oyo, with the presentation of substantial amounts of money. Ministering to the immediate community through corporate social responsibilities like distribution of food items and the construction of a bridge for pedestrians and vehicular access in the community, drilling of a borehole on the 20th February 2021, among several others. From foundation to laying of bricks, to roofing, to plastering, to tiling, to painting, to fencing, to interior and exterior walls and decoration, it was all done with great professionalism and perfection. This edifice you are seeing today is a testament to the goodness of God and sacrifices of men and women who identifies with this church both fully and partially. There are records of heavy sacrifices and commitments, benevolent financial support, and the great support of young and old to ensure that this project becomes a reality today. Just as the Israelites would celebrate God's great faithfulness and deliverance, so should we commemorate and give thanks for the ways God has led us and blessed us throughout the last 2 decades and even beyond. In conclusion, to what does the future hold? This is our confidence that we are redeemed, we are adopted, we are secured, we are loved. We can see the glory of our forever future, that God is going to show us His grace throughout. We are encouraged and we stand firm in our faith, holding on to God's promises and following His perfect guidance through His servants over this assembly. As we do so, we can be confident that He will continue to lead us forward, building His church and spreading His love to all those around us.
I hope I have a great hope concerning the church, that the church is going to become a mega church. A mega church. It's already a mega church. And by the grace of God, it is going to, be known all over, not only Oyo State, not only at the conference, but even at the convention, and even at the world level.
I believe strongly that where the church is going, in fact, we have not started at all. I must confess to you, we have not started. The church is going higher ground.
Sincerely, Fountain of Peace Baptist Church will be making serious wave in Nigeria Baptist Convention.
So I hope that this church become where individual will understand God really without being comparing themselves with themselves. Because the Bible says, those that compare themselves with themselves are not wise. Where people will serve God with all of their hearts without looking at what anybody will say.
So my hope for Fountain of Peace Baptist Church is that the church continue to grow, continue to win souls into the kingdom, and continue to fulfill our purpose.
Yeah, when I resumed, the church was almost like the lowest run of the ladder. And the vision that God gave us is to take the church to the top. Not only at the association, not only at the conference, even at the convention, to be one of the world-class Baptist local church in the convention. Today, by the grace of God, even at the conference level, if they are mentioning churches, before they mention 3, 4, 5, the name of Fountain of Peace Baptist Church is already in the forefront. So we trust the Lord that if the Lord keeps us and He gives us life and Christ tarries, by the grace of God, we will continue to do the will of God until we are number 1 on top of the list.
Today, we stand boldly to ask, in the order of Prophet Haggai as recorded in Haggai 2:3, that who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory, and how do ye see it now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing? But hear this, brethren, for surely the glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Lord of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord of hosts. Surely we are going higher. Happy 20th anniversary, Fountain of Peace Baptist Church.